Every great hero's journey has the moment of no return. The moment where you get to the edge of the cliff, close your eyes, and you jump, hoping that you fly. My name is Canyon, and this is the story of the moment I jumped off the cliff into the unknown. The moment that everything changed. It's about facing my demons head on and discovering that sometimes the only way out is through. This is the story of how I left everything behind to find something greater. This is the life of Canyon. I had just finished 2 semesters of college, completely flunking out of both semesters. My mom gave me 3 options: continue school, go into the military, or join this program I had never heard of called AmeriCorps. Well, I wasn't going to go back to school because 1, I didn't know what I was there for, and 2, I didn't want to fail again. I definitely wasn't going into the military because I didn't want to cut my hair, I didn't know what we were fighting for, and it was too much of a commitment. So I went with option 3, AmeriCorps, something I had never heard of before. All I knew was that I was going to be going across the country, working with nonprofits, and helping people. Well, I got an email that told me that I would be going to California, and I thought to myself, well, I've never been to California, so let me go ahead and go to California. One second, y'all. My dog's leash is just going off. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. You sound like you got a bell on you. So I decided to go to California, a place that I had never been. And little did I know that this decision was going to change my life forever. Well, I jumped on the plane, and it was a nonstop flight from Baltimore to Sacramento, I believe. And on that journey across the country, the flight was like maybe 4 hours, 3.5 hours. It didn't seem that long. And okay, let's do me a favor, girl. Do me a favor. Go get it. Well, that flight didn't seem that long, so while I was on that flight, of course, I was thinking about my favorite movie, Forrest Gump. And I started thinking about the scene where Forrest was running across the country and he was going back and forth from coast to coast, and he had this huge following of people just coming behind him. And when they asked him, "Why are you doing this? Why are you running across the country?" He literally responds with, "I just felt like running." And what a profound moment, because the idea that we always have to have a reason for what we're doing rather than just doing it. And I had this epiphany. I thought to myself, well, Forrest Gump can do it, so can I. And the flight from Baltimore to Sacramento really didn't seem like it was that far. So I thought to myself, I'm going to walk across the country. And I set out on a mission to do exactly that: walk across the country. Well, once I got to California, I joined my team in AmeriCorps, and we got our first mission, which was going to be Montana, the Flathead Reservation. Me being Native American, it really made me feel like I was going home in a way. I was going to embrace my roots, embrace my culture, and learn a little bit about where my people have come from, where my bloodline comes from. And so the first mission, or the first nonprofit that we worked with, was the Boys and Girls Club of Ronan, Montana. We were staying on Flathead Lake in Montana and Polson, Montana, which was absolutely stunning. It was so beautiful, and the amount of beauty and spirit that I felt at this place was absolutely amazing. The team that I was with was a pretty amazing team. I definitely say that they were all pretty nerdy, but I'm pretty nerdy myself in my own way. So it worked out really well. I really bonded with this group of people. The guys on my team, specifically one of them, I really bonded with. I really, created a brotherhood with this group of people, and especially the guys on my team. We spent 6 days out of the week, sometimes 7 days a week, waking up at 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning, driving to Ronan and starting with the Boys and Girls Club. And a lot of the time was spent doing drywall and putting in flooring and just the foundation of a lot of what was going to be what was to come. And we spent about 3 months doing that, and maybe it was about 2 months, but the time that I spent there was incredible. And I just kept telling people, I'm gonna walk across the country. I'm gonna walk across the country. And people kept looking at me like I was crazy. And I'm not gonna lie, part of me felt like I was crazy. And I I wasn't sure if this was really gonna be something that I was gonna do, but they say fake it till you make it. And this is exactly what I was doing. I was creating a mindset of I'm just going to keep saying it, and I'm going to allow the universe, I'm going to allow God to provide exactly what it is that I need to do this journey. And I just kept saying it. And the moment that I was finally encouraged was I had a cavity or something, and my tooth was aching really bad. So I finally went to the dentist, and the lady that was taking care of me started asking me questions, and one thing led to the next. And I told her that my plan at the end of this program was to walk across the country. And the response that I got from her was not that I was crazy, not that I was a lunatic for coming up with such a crazy idea, but that what a profound thing to do, what a an amazing idea for a young man to go out and search for the answers that he was looking for. For me, I was at a moment in my life where I wasn't sure if God existed. I wasn't sure if there was a higher power helping me, or if we were truly just a random act of nature. Just like the song from Kansas, Dust in the Wind, I felt like we were truly at that moment in my life, in that chapter of my life, that we were just dust in the wind. And I needed the answer. I needed to know, was God real? And so the response I got from her was absolutely encouraging, and it helped me understand that this journey was actually a possibility. Well, moving back after a month and a half of doing nonprofit work in Montana, we went back to Sacramento, which was considered our home base. And again, I just kept telling people I'm going to walk across the country. And now I was being known for the guy who was going to walk across the country once this program was done. And so I'm telling one of my roommates, we had four roommates, I'm telling one of my roommates exactly what my plan is. And we ended up having like a little party or little kickback or whatever you want to call it, with maybe like 10 or 15 people that came to our room. We were just playing games and just, relaxing. And he looks at me and goes, Canyon, if you're looking for someone to walk with on your journey, this is your person right here. And he points to this girl, Kateri, who was, I guess, in college with him. They had both come to do the same program. And now he's looking at her, telling her that I'm about to walk across the country. And I saw her eyes light up. I saw the passion in exactly what it was that she was hearing that I was going to do. And I knew in that moment that she was going to be the one who was going to walk across the country with me. You see, a lot of people at that time had told me that they wanted to do it, that that was such a cool idea. But until this moment that I saw the look in her eyes, I didn't believe anybody. Hell, I barely believed in myself that I was really going to do this. But the spark that I saw, the light in her eyes that lit up from the idea of walking across the country, I knew she would really do it. I knew that this was finally the partner that I had been looking for. In that moment, I knew that this was something that was really going to happen. But I never knew how powerful this journey was really going to be.
It is day 28. We are in the desert. This is what we're looking at. I'll tell you what, the desert, it's a lonely place, but it is fucking gorgeous. Not many words, but all truth. Basically, what keeps us going is the idea that we are making a difference. What keeps us going is the fact that every day we meet somebody that's like, whoa, what? You guys are walking across the country? And we're like, yeah, like we're walking across the country. And it's crazy every time we say it, you know? We know people are like, oh, you're fucking crazy, you're crazy, you're crazy. Yeah, we're crazy. You gotta be crazy to do something like this, but you have to be a little bit crazy to make a difference in this world. You gotta be a little bit crazy to change this world. So what keeps us going is the people and the difference that I feel like we are making. And what keeps us going is the fact that we're not done. This journey has just begun. We are only 33 days into a 6-month journey. So that's what keeps us going.